Pete is going to take us through a little bit of a report from the field. Landsea Homes does some really incredible things with home spaces and office spaces in homes specifically. So I would ask Pete, you would first introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you.
Sure.
And then Landsea, and we'll move on.
All right. I'm Pete Beucke. I'm the Vice President of Innovation and Sustainability at Landsea. Among other tasks that I take on, I oversee architecture, and I'm involved really in the day-to-day operations from the corporate side and work directly with our divisions. So I get a good strategic viewpoint of what we're doing in our different divisions. So been with Landsea since 2017, and we're a relatively young company, and it's been a great ride so far.
Where do you build homes?
So we build in both Northern and Southern California, Arizona, Texas, and Florida.
So Sunbelt mostly.
Yes. Yep.
And can you give us a general idea of size, shape, class, demographic? Where are your homes fitting?
Sure. We actually, we went from really the high end when we started building. I think our average home price in 2019 was about $1 million. And that was primarily due to the fact that we were building in California. And
so you were building small homes.
Well, we were building 3-story homes up in the Bay Area.
Wow.
And so, one of our goals as we started to grow really was to try to get our average sales price down. And so, when we started our division in Arizona and acquired a builder there, acquired 2 builders there, really that goal was to try to pull that average price point down. And so we've done that really in Florida and Texas as well. So it depends on where we're building. So we'll build everything from starter, low 300s on up over $1 million.
Excellent. So why don't we jump right in? So we've talked about Landsea a little bit and who you are and what you do, and the Builder of the Year. Who named you Builder of the Year?
It was Builder Magazine, and
Nice.
that was 2022, so we're very proud of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As well you should be. All right.
All right.
Go ahead.
So, just addressing the home office, work from home, in 2020, our executive staff huddled up and we said, hey, we've been hearing statistics about work from home, and this is really before the pandemic hit. And so we sat down and our executive team really is comprised of a lot of different expertise and experience. And so, you name all the top builders, collectively we've all worked there. And we talked about the home office, and I remember talking about in the 80s, late 80s, we called the space the lofts. That was like the big deal. We took the loft and made it into an office, and so builders have been doing this for quite a while. But we wanted to take the concept of flexibility and introducing not only the home office, but a place where you could set up a little gym and the components that made it easy to do that. So we created the LiveFlex and LiveFlex Plus space. And of course, when the pandemic hit, everyone thought we were geniuses because it's like, oh my gosh, how'd you work that out timing-wise? Yeah. But, really that's the idea, create that flexible space. And so we really have 2 different options that we provide in our homes for our home buyers. And, it's really a well thought out space that makes it simple for them. Mm-hmm. And they don't have to think about the different components and add different options. It's really it's a package. And so, it just depends on if it's on the first floor or second floor, because in the LiveFlex Plus, we provide an outlet in the floor. So, we have to know ahead of time if we're pouring a slab and we need to put conduit in and that type of thing. So, but that was really the idea around.
So is it that you take a standard room that's already part of the plan and you turn it into the flex space, or are there
Correct.
specific places on the plan where it can go?
There are. We've kind of chosen the best places for it to go. You know, and sometimes it's a loft space that can be, you know, turned into a separate space. Sometimes it's a bedroom. But, you know, we try to pick those spaces out up front. You know, if someone wants to create an area underneath a closet, you know, a little niche, you know, they can work through the options to be able to do that as well. But with the pre-programmed options, you know, we decide where those are going to go.
Awesome. So we could talk a little bit more about how the choices come together, right? So what makes up a flexible space? And I'm going to fire you a bunch of them, and then we can talk through them. But
Okay.
What makes up a flexible space? How you handle the construction process, right? So I choose a space, it's in bedroom 2, for instance.
Sure.
Right? How does that get conveyed? What are the separate options and things that I can look at? So help us understand sort of when you came up with this, what was FlexSpace 1.0 versus what I'm assuming 3 years later is now FlexSpace 8.0, right? How did they differ? What did you learn along the way?
Yeah, it really starts with a collaboration between our corporate sales and marketing VP, and really our president and COO was heavily involved as well. He loves, you know, this kind of stuff. And so, you know, it was a collaboration for sure. So architecture, sales and marketing, operations, of course. And so it was a collaboration of, you know, different disciplines that came together to determine how we wanted to package it, and then determine what areas we wanted to offer it in. And I think the key really was to have, you know, that pre-priced package that someone could take a look at and make that decision. And, you know, in terms of the tactical side of it, you know, because it is an option and it's pre-priced, we know the components going in. It's like any other option. You know, it gets documented in the customer file. That file goes out to the field, and they know right away that, hey, I need to put a conduit in, you know, for the outlet, and you know, they know all the other components are going into it as well.
So is it and I don't want you to give away too many secrets, right? I mean, we're giving good information here, but the idea is not to give away too many secrets. But is it a profit center for you? Do you see it as an opportunity? Is it just a differentiator where you would be putting in these options separately anyway? Or is the concept a profit center for you, and you incentivize to sell it because of that?
That's a great question. And, you know, the answer really is that we don't mark it up like we do other options. And part of that was to, you know, to be a differentiator, because we know how popular the home office is. Right. And, you know, we just felt like, you know, it was super important to have that available and not mark it up to the point where no one's going to take it. So.
And then how many different trades do you think are involved in the process, right? So, I mean, as a former integrator myself, I can picture, you know, the high volt guy, the low volt guy. Sure. But, you know, how many trades get involved with these kinds of upgrades? Yeah,
there's definitely a handful of trades. You know, you've got, in some cases, your concrete guy, framing, you know, electrical, you know, your low voltage, and then we do a white glove service, you know, at the tail end for our home automation. And so, you know, that's part of it. And during that portion of it, the home buyer sits down and can create scenes and whatnot, you know, within that space.
Within that space.
So, yeah. So there's probably 6 different trades that are involved with it.